People have to wonder, where does Sunny Hostin get her opinions?
Yeah.
Like you said, and it's obviously from her husband. She has to tell her what to say on The View, because without it, she's got nothing up there. She's not very bright. But the problem with her is that she went full race.
Sunny Hostin, one of the most talked about personalities on The View recently found herself at the center of an unexpected controversy. One so ironic, it could have been pulled from a satire sketch. Known for her strong opinions on race, reparations, and identity politics, Sunny has spent years passionately addressing racial inequality and how history has shaped it. She's confident, outspoken, and often carries an air of certainty about her moral stance. So when Sunny appeared on PBS's Finding Your Roots a show where celebrities dive into their ancestry, viewers expected her personal history to align with the values she's so vocal about. It seemed like a natural fit. But what Sunny uncovered on the show left both her and the internet stunned, throwing a surprising twist into the narrative.
Sounds like a town. We're in Sunny Hostin. She was on PBS's Finding Your Roots, a show dedicated to researching celebrity ancestry. For context, Sunny is a staunch supporter of reparations and has made a fortune spewing nonsense about white privilege and racial justice. Well, turns out she's not as oppressed as she claims she is. She's actually the descendant of slave owners from...
Before we dive into this jaw-dropping drama, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss the latest Hollywood tea. Now, back to Sunny Hostin. Sitting across from historian and genealogist Henry Louis Gates Jr. on PBS's Finding Your Roots Sunny was eager to uncover her family history. She seemed ready for a story about resilience and oppression, but what she wasn't ready for was the bombshell revelation. Her ancestors were slave owners. Yes, the same Sunny Hostin who has spent years advocating for reparations and condemning the legacy of slavery, discovered that her family had directly benefited from the very system she's been fighting against. Her reaction was a mix of shock, discomfort, and wide-eyed disbelief. Sunny, who has always identified as Puerto Rican, was visibly unsettled as this part of her lineage came to light.
Oh, I'm a little bit in shock. I just always thought of myself as Puerto Rican, half Puerto Rican. I didn't think I was, my family was originally from Spain and slaveholders.
Yeah. So how are you feeling, my friend?
I think it's actually pretty interesting that my husband and I have shared roots.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that. And I think it's great for our children to know this information. I guess it's a fact of life that this is how some people made their living. On the back.
Didn't think my family was originally from Spain or slaveholders, Sunny admitted, almost as if she couldn't believe the words leaving her mouth. For a moment, there was silence, the kind that makes you wonder if your TV is still on. Sunny, always quick on her feet, tried to recover, awkwardly adding that this would be interesting for her kids to learn. But let's be honest, the damage was already done. Of course, the revelation didn't stay within the quiet confines of PBS. Enter Greg Gutfeld, Fox News king of sarcasm, who thrives on moments like these. If irony were a competition, Greg just claimed the gold medal. He opened his segment with a zinger. Sunny Hostin's ancestors were slave owners. That's like finding out a vegan secretly owns a steakhouse. His audience burst into laughter as Greg dug deeper, calling out what he saw as glaring hypocrisy in Sunny's usual rhetoric.
People have to wonder, where does Sunny Hostin get her opinions?
Yeah.
Like you said, and it's obviously from her husband. She has to tell her what to say on The View, because without it, she's got nothing up there. She's not very bright. But the problem with her is that she went full racist. She injected skin color into a fairly generic behavior seen in all spouses. Regardless of skin color, people marry, they listen to each other, they have something in common with them, they share their political views. She just didn't want to upset her husband by saying her husband makes her do everything, and then she'd have to accuse him of being a racist. Because if he told her that this is what white women do, then he's a racist.
Hostin has built her career around discussions of race, often using it as a tool to call out others or strengthen her arguments. But Greg Gutfeld didn't hold back in pointing out how this revelation completely undercut her usual approach. The next time Sunny pulls the race card on asterisk, the view asterisk, someone's going to remind her. At least we're not slave owner racists, he quipped. Beneath the humor, though, Greg made a serious observation: Sunny's apparent lack of accountability. Instead of addressing the shocking discovery with humility or reflection, she brushed it off as just another fact of life. Social media wasted no time reacting. Within minutes, platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok were flooded with memes and commentary. One user called it the plot twist of the year, while another shared a meme of Sunny with the caption, "Reparations? Let me write that check to myself real quick." Even some of Sunny's fans struggled to defend her. While some argued she shouldn't be held responsible for her ancestors' actions, others pointed out that it wasn't about blame. It was about hypocrisy. You can't shame others while ignoring the skeletons in your own closet, one commenter noted. Greg didn't stop at Sunny either. He broadened the discussion to critique identity politics as a whole, arguing that it often oversimplifies nuanced issues and creates unnecessary division. In his view, Sunny's situation was a perfect example of how this approach can backfire spectacularly.
A lens of empathy. Debate highlights ableism in politics. Pat Fetterman can do for disability what Obama did for race.
Say what?
See, because when all else fails, use identity politics. But MSNBC's Lawrence O'Donnell went a step further.
Greg Gutfeld didn't mince words as he summed up the situation. This is what happens when you focus so much on race. You lose sight of the individual, the context, the nuance, and eventually it backfires. Just like it did for Sunny. He stressed the importance of personal responsibility, arguing that it's not about who your ancestors were, but about the choices you make today. For years, Sunny has been lecturing everyone else. Maybe it's time she took a long, hard look in the mirror, he added. The controversy sparked deeper conversations about historical accountability. Should people like Sunny, who are vocal about condemning others for their ancestors' actions, be held to the same standard? Or is it enough to simply acknowledge the past without letting it define you? These questions remain at the heart of the debate, adding complexity to an already heated discussion.
Elites are so isolated, they've forgotten that most Americans don't get paid to sit in a comfy chair pontificating about everything all day. Nope, some of us are cameramen whose names I don't know. But maybe one day when we finally strip away this phony race war, it will finally expose this elite mentality. And we'll find out Sunny is just like Marie Antoinette, except she says, "Let me eat cake."
Greg's panel didn't hold back, turning the revelation into comedy gold. One co-host quipped, "If Sunny's been shaming descendants of slave owners, does she now have to shame herself?" Another chimed in, "It's ironic how deep she is into identity politics, yet she didn't even know her own identity." Meanwhile, the internet reveled in the irony, with many pointing out that this could have been a pivotal moment for Sunny. Instead of shrugging it off, she could have said something like, "I've learned something surprising about my family, and it's made me rethink how I approach these discussions." It could have sparked meaningful dialogue about the complexities of history and identity. Even Sunny's co-hosts on Asterisk, The View Asterisk, seemed unsure of how to address it. Whoopi Goldberg, known for her sharp humor, might have been biting her tongue not to say, "Sunny, should I grab you a coffee, or will your slave-owning ancestors serve you?" It was an awkward situation all around, and one that could have gone very differently if handled with more self-awareness.
Fun of The View a lot, but that's only because they keep talking. Those hens are always clucking. They get to say stupid stuff for an hour every day, and then I get to say stupid stuff for an hour every day, except on purpose. But every now and then, one of those dingbats inadvertently says something that reveals modern liberal thought so perfectly, it deserves further study. You know, like a weird serpent that washed up on the beach and you want to poke it with a...
I talk about The View a lot, but that's only because they're always making headlines. The co-hosts spend an hour every day sharing their takes, and then I get to respond with my own. Every so often, though, one of them says something that perfectly reflects modern liberal thinking in such a way that it deserves a closer look. Like discovering something unusual that washes up on the shore, and you can't resist trying to figure out what it is.
Oh, I'm a little bit in shock. I just always thought of myself as Puerto Rican, half Puerto Rican. I didn't think I was, my family was originally from Spain and slaveholders.
Yeah. So how are you feeling, my friend?
I think it's actually pretty interesting that my husband and I have shared roots.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that. And I think it's great for our children to know this information. I guess it's a fact of life that this is how some people made their living on the back.
Fun of The View a lot, but that's only because they keep talking. Those hens are always clucking. They get to say stupid stuff for an hour every day, and then I get to say stupid stuff for an hour every day, except on purpose. But every now and then, one of those dingbats inadvertently says something that reveals modern liberal thought so perfectly, it deserves further study. Like a weird serpent that washed up on the beach and you want to poke it with a...
Next voice, next voice. At the end of the day, Sunny's revelation isn't just about her. It's a reminder of the importance of humility and the risks of being overly self-righteous. History is messy, complex, and often uncomfortable, and none of us are untouched by its weight. That's why it's crucial to approach these conversations with grace and self-awareness. As Greg Gutfeld put it, when you spend your life looking for racism everywhere, eventually it finds you. And for Sunny, it was hiding in her own family tree. What's next for Sunny Hostin? Will she confront this irony or stick to business as usual? Time will tell. One thing's certain though, this story won't be forgotten anytime soon. And who knows, maybe next time Sunny speaks on America's history, she'll think twice before throwing stones from her glass house. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next one. Peace.